Welcome to our Detox Health Intensive. We're getting near the end of the series, and today we're going to talk about what the healing process actually is. Now, this is different than the detox process. This is the process of how your body heals itself. The three stages of natural cleansing and then healing are 1, the elimination of toxins, 2, when enough stored toxins are removed, your body works on the breakdown and removal of damaged and or diseased cells. And 3, lastly, your body rebuilds cells and tissues. Now, these three processes occur to some degree simultaneously and all the time. Your body needs to eliminate metabolic toxins on a daily basis. These are called endotoxins. Your body needs to eliminate toxins coming in from the environment in your skin on a daily basis. Your body also needs to be able to work on the breakdown and removal of damaged and diseased cells on a daily basis. And if healthy and vital enough, your body will rebuild itself cellularly and on tissues on a daily basis. But your body needs to be able to draw enough vitality and raw micronutrients to be able to effectively manage all three stages of cleansing and healing on a daily basis. And this is where a lot of people find that they lag behind and are not able to make all of these processes occur. So let's take a look at naturopathic medicine and the therapeutic order, which really follows the way your body will heal. At the very base is we need to establish a foundation for optimum health, and these will incur lifestyle habits. They include what micronutrients you're going to have in your diet, making sure you get enough water, hopefully having a good emotional and mental outlook on life. Above that is your body's ability to stimulate self-healing, or your ability to stimulate self-healing. And this is, of course, what we just talked about: removing toxins, removing diseased cells, and then rebuilding. And those habits that will help stimulate self-healing, again, drinking enough water, making sure you have enough micronutrients, making sure you have a good attitude. Above that is, once you get into a state where maybe you're not as healthy, then you're going to have to try to support and restore weakened systems. And now weakened systems, sometimes they're genetic. You have a genetic system that's weaker, pancreatic function or heart function genetically. Oftentimes, it comes either after an illness or over time, as we are missing key nutrients and missing key lifestyle habits, we begin to weaken our systems. Once that happens, now we have to try and restore them. If you're not able to do that effectively, you go up to the next need, which is maybe you need to realign yourself physically, restore structural integrity. And of course, this refers to chiropractic, and also it can refer to other practices and modalities that will help your body to heal, like massage. Above that, if you're still not well, if you're still feeling off, you may look for symptom relief. And number one is, hopefully you're looking for natural symptom relief. Maybe you're stretching more often, taking hot showers or cold showers or both, engaging in saunas, far infrared saunas, taking occasionally herbs that help your body, or maybe you're constipated and you need a natural laxative. Those would be natural symptom relief. If that's not effective, then you go up a big step to synthetic symptom relief, and often this is pain control. At this point, you're over-the-counter medications for allergies, over-the-counter medications for pain, over-the-counter medications for symptoms of flu or clogged sinuses. And at this point, your body's clearly out of balance. You clearly have some kind of disease process happening, and you haven't been able to get a hold of it down at these lower levels of the base pyramid. And at the very top of this interference into the body are high force interventions. These could be surgeries, things like chemotherapy. This is where you're simply trying to suppress a pathology that has occurred. And sometimes you don't have a choice. If you break a foot, you may need to suppress the broken foot. You need to realign that foot. So it's not like all high force interventions are wrong, but they are all very hard on the health of your body. So what we look for in natural health is to get back to that base and really feed the base so the rest of the pyramid of ill health does not occur. Now, how you experience the stages of healing, removing toxins, removing long-term toxins or cellular debris, and then rebuilding, how you experience these stages on a daily basis depends on your health, your diet, your age, and other lifestyle factors. The bottom line is the healthier you are, the more effective in likelihood your ongoing daily detox process has been. But when a body has been unable to effectively do a daily detox process for any length of time, toxins and cellular injuries are put on hold from the healing part of that activity. Now, this can be due to a lack of the micronutrients the body needs, emotional stress that prevents the body having vital energy to put into healing, or other physical priorities that the body may have, like heart disease or pancreatic disease or a chronic illness like Epstein-Barr syndrome. They can affect your body's ability to rebuild. When you reach a point where your health and or diet can support a better layer and level of detox again, your body prioritizes how it cleans house. First, you're going to be cleansing out your newest and safest toxins, something that your body can easily remove. And, this is what we need to be doing on a daily basis, but can get put away and not happen if we're not rich in micronutrients and rich in vital energy. Once those are dealt with, then comes a more in-depth cleansing and removal of disease cells from your essential organs, and that's your liver, your pancreas, your gallbladder, your gut, and your heart. And then the last to cleanse and then rebuild are going to be your oldest injuries or your chronically ill organs or systems. Now, to some degree, as I've said earlier, all of these things are happening every day anyhow, but really the last to cleanse and rebuild, the oldest injuries, the chronically ill organs and systems, that often is completely undealt with when we are not in an optimal state of health. And sometimes it's not dealt with for years or even decades. So when you do start rebuilding your body and you have a deliberate cleansing and detox process, in those initial few days or weeks of an effective detox process, it can lead to discomfort as newer, as in you haven't had them expressed before, toxins are removed. If you've had chronic health issues, you may experience what is called a healing crisis. So what is a healing crisis? When the body experiences dramatic symptoms of cleansing as a result of improved organ function and improved immune efficiency, you're eating better micronutrients, you have more vital energy, this process is called a healing crisis. Healing because it's expelling toxins and it's going to bring about an improvement in health. Crisis because the symptoms associated with the toxic removal can be dramatic. While unpleasant, a healing crisis is actually a good thing. It's a great thing. It lets you know that the detoxification program you're following is really working. The healing crisis generally lasts from just a few hours to a few days at any one time. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a later slide. The healthier your body is to begin with, the fewer symptoms there are going to be. The more your body has to clean up, the harder and longer the cleansing side effects will be. When you do a deliberate cleanse, excess fat and hardened mucus and toxic waste throughout the body, stored in your fat, stored in your joints, these emulsify, this is phase 2, by the way, and are carried into the bloodstream and gut. So they're now circulating freely in your system. This influx of these older stored toxins into the system can bring on the symptoms of sickness. The symptoms and the severity of them will vary from one person to another according to the materials being discarded and the condition of the organs involved in the elimination and the amount of vital energy you have available. So what is a Jarisch-Herxheimer reaction? That's what you call this process, the healing crisis. It is in particular the release of endotoxins or toxins from inside your body as well as inflammatory cytokines, which is going to be an immune reaction to microbial waste and cell death. So as your body begins to release toxins and release disease and clear up diseased tissues and cells, your immune system can get involved as a reaction to this waste process and create inflammation chemicals, which are called cytokines. And that can cause reactions in your body. And the symptoms, the potential symptoms include flu-like symptoms, achiness, headache, mental fog, skin rash, loose stools, fatigue, that's a big one, fever, sweating, and chills. And those are just a few of many different reactions. A healing crisis is a positive event. It's a sign of improving health. But unfortunately, people do mistake it as a disease crisis. They're like, oh my gosh, I got sick again. These things made me sick again. It didn't help at all. And sadly, many health practitioners, especially Western medicine health practitioners, do not understand what a healing crisis is, or even that the Jarisch-Herxheimer reaction occurs. They will treat it as a sickness when you walk in, and they will give you medicines that stop the symptoms and abort the entire healing process. More common than not. Now, if you've had a chronic illness or an injury, you may also experience what is called retracing or reactivation. This is in part due to what's called cellular memory. Your cells can remember something that happened before. So, for example, symptoms you had with an original disease or injury were an attempt for your body to heal. Pain is a signal that healing needs to occur. Swelling is a reaction to mobilize healing cytokines and healing molecules. The acute inflammation is a healing process. But when these symptoms are blocked with drugs, painkillers, anti-inflammatories, or stress of some kind, your body just is too stressed to finish the healing process, then those symptoms don't resolve. So the original symptoms and healing were kind of put on hold. And so retracing is when these healing symptoms again manifest themselves. Now, you're not actually ill, but it feels as though you were. And I've actually experienced this myself very profoundly a couple of times. One of them was I was doing a cleanse, and I had zero idea that I was actually cleansing as deeply as I was. And I went into a state where I had a tremendous migraine headache, which I hadn't had in decades. And I was very ill. It occurred over a space of 10 minutes, which is super fast for the onset of a migraine. And once I got in bed and laid down, I had an entire hallucinogenic event in my mind. And I remembered when I was 5 years old having an incident that left me with this horrible migraine headache, which I then did suffer for some years afterwards. And I relived that entire event. And in 3 hours, I woke up and I was 100% well with zero signs of having been ill or having had a migraine. Those of you who are migraine sufferers know that's not the process of a migraine headache. It was very clearly a Jarisch-Herxheimer reaction or a cleansing reaction. After a healing crisis, you often can experience a short burst of intense energy and activity that really takes you to a new level of improved health, and you feel really good. But a single healing crisis experience may not purge or remove from your body all the toxins and memories in your cells that could have accumulated over the years. You may have several different healing crises before optimal health is obtained, but each new level is better than the last, and each is a step closer to total well-being and optimal health. And again, this is another list, because I say in every webinar, I like to give a lot of graphics because people learn in different ways. So healing crisis like lethargy and sleepiness, and then the possible reasons or causes are on the other side. And if you're watching this video, you can pause right now and just read this at your leisure. Tips for dealing with a healing crisis. See it as a sign of progress. Don't be terrified. Just be aware that, oh, I'm healing. I remember this. That's right. I'm going to get through it this time. Double your water intake. The more water you drink, the faster your body can remove the toxins and other debris that is causing that crisis. Consume more healthy salts. I would say consume microminerals, microminerals are what healthy salts are. So like a wild blue-green algae is excellent for microminerals. That gives you a really great balance of electrolytes. Breathe more deeply and consciously. Breathing, we tend to short breathe or breathe very shallowly when we're in pain or afraid. And so when you go through a healing crisis, it's very common to have real quick, shallow breaths, and that does not allow you to oxygenate correctly, but it also doesn't allow you to feel correctly. When you breathe deeply and slowly, you actually will move through that feeling much more quickly. Get more rest, downtime, and sleep. Sleep is the great healer, and many people are significantly and chronically short of deep sleep. So when you're going through a healing crisis, let yourself rest. Remember why you're going through the healing process, whatever the original disease or disorder was, why you want to get to a new state of health, looking forward to how you're going to feel on the other end of this. And then activated charcoal, if you're really quite ill, if you know that you have debris that is significant, for example, if you have a long-term viral infection or microbial infection like Lyme's or Epstein-Barr disease or some other kind of parasite, activated charcoal will help absorb those toxins that are being released into your gut and move them out safely. You don't want to use too much because it can also block your gut, but activated charcoal is a very beneficial intervention when you're dealing with a heavy reaction. So we're almost done. The next webinar series is going to be on diet and lifestyle hacks to help you support cleansing and detoxification and also modulate it so that if you're going through too strong of a reaction, you can pull back a little bit without completely going back to your old dietary style, which maybe got you where you are in the first place. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy your day.